357. And yes, because of me being who I am, I do like that extended lever.
1879, and for the past over 40 years, they have been producing really fine, high-quality firearms.
About guns, generally speaking, which is why I don't tend to like long slides, is that they tend to be a little bit bouncy.
Check out our other videos on it. We talk about that cylinder shape and the thinness of the gun and all those things.
And I, for one, am quite pleased that Henry chose not to make the revolvers look like everyone else's.
With their most recent product, Henry is now entering the revolver market. These revolvers are made to go with their existing range of Henry Big Boy rifles. History and background. Henry is a renowned firearms manufacturer that specializes in lever-action rifles, shotguns, and rimfire rifles. Although the company has gained recognition for its lever-action rifles, it has also established a strong presence in the revolver market. Henry's commitment to quality craftsmanship, innovative design, and historical legacy has contributed to its success and popularity among firearms enthusiasts. Revolver manufacturing by Henry. Henry maintains a reputation for exceptional craftsmanship and attention to detail in its revolver manufacturing. Each revolver is carefully constructed using high-quality materials and undergoes rigorous testing to ensure reliability and performance. Henry's commitment to quality has made its revolvers highly regarded among firearm collectors and shooters. Henry revolvers often incorporate lever-action mechanisms, which is a unique feature that sets them apart from traditional revolvers. Lever-action revolvers combine the classic design of a revolver with a lever-operated reloading system, allowing for quick and efficient reloading.
Big boy revolver, 6-shot, 357, 38 special, really good looking on the trigger guard and the back strap and that little extra hump right there. It comes in your traditional grip as well as it can rotate in your hand a little because of that curve. Man, it's smooth.
This innovative design element provides shooters with a distinctive shooting experience while maintaining the reliability and familiarity of a revolver. Henry offers revolvers in various calibers to cater to different shooting preferences and purposes. Some of the popular calibers include 22 LR, 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, and 45 Colt. These options provide shooters with versatility whether they are looking for a revolver for recreational shooting, self-defense, or hunting. Henry revolvers often pay homage to historical firearms, taking inspiration from iconic designs and models from the past. This blend of traditional aesthetics and modern manufacturing techniques appeals to collectors and firearms enthusiasts who appreciate the historical significance and craftsmanship of revolvers. Value in the market. Henry has built a strong reputation for manufacturing high-quality firearms with exceptional craftsmanship. The brand is highly regarded among firearm enthusiasts, and Henry's revolvers are seen as desirable additions to firearm collections. Henry revolvers are known for their performance and reliability. Shooters value their accuracy, smooth action, and durability, making them a trusted choice for recreational shooters, hunters, and even some law enforcement agencies. Henry's revolvers often exhibit limited production runs or special editions, adding to their desirability among collectors. The combination of craftsmanship, historical inspiration, and unique design features makes Henry revolvers sought after by those who appreciate firearms as collectible items. The demand for revolvers remains strong among firearm enthusiasts, and Henry's offerings cater to this market segment. Lever-action revolvers, in particular, attract interest from shooters who seek a blend of classic design and modern functionality. Henry revolvers tend to hold their value well in the secondary market. The combination of brand reputation, limited production runs, and collector appeal often results in a strong resale value for Henry revolvers. Impressions of the Henry Big Boy revolvers. The launch of the Henry Big Boy revolvers is a remarkable achievement all on its own. Henry is a well-known firm that is known for making rifles of a good quality, therefore it is really exciting to see the company branch out into the production of revolvers. The expansion of available alternatives for double-action and single-action revolvers is a development that is very much appreciated. These brand new Henry Big Boy revolvers come with a variety of distinguishing characteristics that are worthy of being discussed. A comfortable and contoured grip is provided by the Gunfighter grip, which is characterized by its square butt form. It has a slight palm swell for increased comfort, as well as thumb rests on both sides, which makes it possible to operate speed loaders in a straightforward manner. The polished brass grip frame and grip panels provide a touch of elegance to the revolver, while the magnificent American walnut used for the grip panels adds to the revolver's overall aesthetic appeal. When it comes to the actual shooting experience, the design of the grip frame on the revolver ensures a tight hold and reduces the amount of excessive upward movement experienced during recoil. The Henry Big Boy revolver is capable of firing bullets chambered for 38 Special, 38 Special Plus, and 357 Magnum. Additionally, it can fire 38 Special rounds. It is constructed out of solid carbon steel, and despite its reasonable weight, it provides a shooting experience that is on par with that of comparable Smith & Wesson models. The Henry Big Boy revolver has a method of operation known as double action single action.
And I, for one, am quite pleased that Henry chose not to make the revolvers look like everyone else's. Full grip with a square butt, while the bird's head grip is the compact style that ends in a beak.
Despite the fact that it looks like a single action revolver and has an ejector rod that is exposed, it is quite similar to the traditional Colt M1877 revolvers, particularly the core diameter of the M1877 N38 Long Colt model. Even if some people would say that this revolver is ugly, other people might strongly disagree with that assessment. The Henry Big Boy revolver is an option that is distinctive and desirable for people who have an interest in firearms because of the manufacturer's well-known commitment to quality and the meticulous craftsmanship that went into designing it. Appreciating the Henry revolver's craftsmanship. The Henry revolver has a strong resemblance to older Colt revolvers in terms of its general design, particularly in terms of the shape of the trigger guard and the profile of the barrel. It is essential to keep in mind that people's preferences might vary greatly, despite the fact that some people have voiced their view that the Henry revolver looks tacky and unappealing. Spending a large amount of time and possibly several $1,000s is going to be required to locate those vintage Colts. On the other hand, the Henry revolver has impeccable fitting, superb finishing, and an exceptional degree of polish. Its level of shine is particularly noteworthy. The fit and finish of the Henry revolver is said to be superior to that of any Charter Arms revolver, despite the fact that skeptics have compared it to a Charter Arms revolver. However, as someone who holds Charter Arms in high respect and owns a few myself, we can say with absolute certainty that the fit and finish of the Henry revolver is superior. It would be inappropriate to compare the two, as the skill and precision needed in the making of the Henry revolver are on a different scale than those engaged in the making of the other. Due to the enormous amount of handwork involved, purchasing a 6-gun that has been precisely fitted and polished, such as the Henry revolver, does come at a cost. In spite of this, the Henry team has truly outdone themselves with this revolver in every possible way. Those who have an appreciation for exquisite guns will find it to be an outstanding option due to the high level of craftsmanship and the meticulous attention to detail. Appearance and performance. Given how they look, how well they shoot, and even how much they cost, there is no way to miss the fact that the Henry Big Boy revolvers are within anyone's financial range. Although it may at first sound extravagant, which it unquestionably is, the suggested retail price that the maker has set for both the Burr's Edward grip and the Gunfighter grip versions is set at $928. However, the pricing is comparable to what prominent manufacturers such as Smith & Wesson, Colt, and Ruger are willing to charge for combinations that are analogous to the ones being offered here. Both double-action and single-action shooting can be accomplished with the Big Boy revolver's 6 cylinders when using bullets chambered for the 357 Magnum 38 Special caliber. In spite of the fact that the huge boy revolver bears a superficial similarity to the Colt M1877 Lightning once more, it is fundamentally different from prior Colt and Smith & Wesson single-action revolvers due to its innovative internal structure. Both of these methods of action are extremely effective. Because of its modern side plate construction and consistent use of coil springs, the Big Boy is a pistol that is both more up-to-date and more robust than its competitors. In a manner analogous to that of the antique triple-lock revolvers manufactured by Smith & Wesson, the lockup mechanism of the huge boy revolver is noteworthy in that it secures both the front and the back of the cylinder. The well-known cylinder lockup found on the back of the Big Boy revolver is just one component of its overall lockup mechanism, which also features a sturdy frontal lockup. A discernible tab on the crane slides into a similar recess on the frame, which together form a lock that is both robust and reliable. Because there is no obvious play, shaking, or other undesired movement, the result is a lockup that is extremely reliable and which is also compatible with the principles of contemporary revolver design. A transfer bar safety mechanism has been incorporated into the Big Boy revolver. This safety mechanism assures that the hammer will not transmit any force to the firing pin in the event that it suffers an accidental drop or collision, unless the trigger is intentionally manipulated after the accident has occurred. The handle of the hammer does not have a massive spur, but it has been grooved in a smart way so that the thumb can get a good grip on it. Even in instances in which the trigger is partially pulled to the rear, this makes it possible for the thumb to be engaged in a secure and easy manner. Sights and target acquisition. The pull of the trigger on the large body revolver is exceptional, exemplified by its pleasing smoothness and complete absence of any creeping or stacking that can be detected. It offers a pull that is even and continuous all along the journey. In single action mode, the trigger pull weights slightly more than 2.5 pounds, approximately 2 pounds and 9.2 ounces. In double action mode, the trigger pull weighs 8 pounds and 2.5 ounces. The most important thing to note is that there is no detectable over travel, which results in a strong and consistent trigger pull.
357. And yes, because of me being who I am, I do like that extended lever. Shoots phenomenally well. You noticed just kind of me just playing with it some, coming out of the holster. This is a phenomenal trigger. This feels awesome. In double action, take a look. Slow, steady squeeze. Yeah, just like that.
The Big Boy Solver has a circular barrel that is 4 inches long and measures a diameter of 4 inches. This particular barrel length is considered to be optimal for 6 shooters of this type, but longer barrels have the potential to improve shooting accuracy. It is crucial to bear in mind that longer barrels do not necessarily have more accuracy than shorter barrels, despite the fact that a longer barrel's larger side radius can make it slightly simpler to attain precision at greater distances. However, it is also vital to keep in mind that longer barrels provide a longer side radius. On the other hand, selecting a barrel with a shorter length necessitates making a marginal reduction in velocity in exchange for increased concealability over the course of time. The sights on the large boy revolver feature a design that is both straightforward and appealing, albeit in a somewhat different way. Although these sights may not offer the quickest target acquisition, their tiny size allows for more precision in comparison to bigger 3-dot sights. The back sight is a thin groove that is positioned on the top strap, and the front sight is a narrow blade. In terms of barrel length, a barrel with a diameter of 4 inches has been shown to be a well-balanced and generally acceptable compromise. Because of this capability, modifying the giant boy revolver so that it is compatible with a given type of ammo is quick and easy. The exposed injector rod and lack of a barrel underlug to cover and protect it are further issues that have been brought up by critics of the Big Boy revolver. The ejector rod may theoretically be vulnerable to bending or damage from a strong impact, but it's important to note that many old Colts and original Smith & Wessons, including the model 1917 Smith & Wesson, also had exposed ejector rods on the bottom. These firearms are highly regarded and definitely not considered inexpensive, frequently commanding prices in the thousands of dollars. The Big Boy revolver's exposed to rod serves a purpose by slightly reducing the barrel's weight, which causes the balance to lean towards the hand's back. Some people favor this balance. The versatility of the Henry Big Boy revolver. Many individuals appreciate a handgun that maintains a well-centered balance in the hand. Despite the online gripes and criticisms surrounding the introduction of Henry revolvers, it is important to emphasize that they are exceptional firearms. They justify the price paid for them and are more than capable of being relied upon to safeguard your life and the lives of your loved ones. These revolvers are solid, accurate, and highly dependable. When it comes to holsters, finding the right fit for the newly released Henry Big Boy revolver has been a bit uncertain. Experiments were done with various holsters and found that the K-frame Smith holster was slightly too small, while the L-frame Smith holster was too large. However, a holster that fits the Big Boy revolver perfectly, as if it were custom-made for it. It's the El Dorado holster crafted by Rob Lee at Simply Rugged Holsters.
35 ounces compared to the 40 ounces of the GP100, and a beautiful piece of steel. Probably more like a Colt revolver, which I haven't had a lot of experience shooting.
Originally designed to accommodate the Ruger GP100 with a 4-inch barrel and a half underlug, the El Dorado holster works flawlessly with the big boy revolver. There is no play or looseness. It fits like a glove. If you happen to have a GP100 4-inch holster lying around, it should work just fine with your Henry Big Boy revolver as well. Additionally, more holsters specifically tailored for the Henry Big Boy are becoming available on the market, including options from Rob Lee at simplyrugged.com. Purchasing a Henry Big Boy revolver. If you're a wheel gun aficionado and in the market for a fresh new take on a medium frame 6-shooter chambered in .357 Magnum 38 Special, you probably wouldn't mind its relatively high MSRP. In that case, yes, you should consider getting one. If you already own a Henry Big Boy lever action chambered in .357 Magnum, you'll appreciate the Big Boy revolver as a sidearm due to ammo compatibility and simplified logistics. This means you only need to stock and maintain one type of ammo, making it easier to stockpile, especially if you hand load your own ammunition. However, if you're a first-time revolver buyer, we wouldn't recommend the Henry Big Boy revolver. Instead, consider a budget model chambered in .22 LR, such as the Heritage Rough Rider. If you're looking for more power, you can opt for a Smith & Wesson 686 Plus in .357 Magnum, which is only slightly more expensive than the Henry Big Boy revolver, but offers a 7-shot cylinder. Alternatively, you can explore more affordable revolvers in .357 Magnum, such as the EAA Vindicator or the Sarselmaz SR38, both of which can be found for around $500 to $600. Kimber K6's DASA Combat .357 Magnum Revolver. Consumers were formally introduced to Kimber's K6S in 2016. Long thought to be extinct, revolvers were now making a comeback, and Kimber seemed to have timed the market flawlessly. All of the K6S's available variations were snub-nose, internal hammer, double-action-only weapons intended for concealed carry. That changed in 2019 with the launch of Kimber's DASA, a classic double-action, single-action revolver with up to 4-inch barrels. The K6S DASA series is considerably more capable, even though it is less covert. There are now 4 models of the DASA available. 2 of them have completely adjustable rear sights, the 4-inch Target GFO and the 4-inch Target. 3 and 4-inch barrels are options for the fixed sight combat versions. Due to its capacity to make useful components at low cost, metal injection molding has become incredibly popular in the firearms business. Many purists regret the usage of MIM parts, even though there is nothing fundamentally wrong with them, especially if a rifle is designed with them in mind.
1979, and for the past over 40 years they have been producing really fine, high-quality firearms. It's just exceptional. So when they introduced their revolvers, I was really excited to see what they had come up with. A lot of flexibility between .38, .357, and guys, honestly, I have not been disappointed.
The revolvers in the K6S series rely entirely on parts that were machined from bar stock at Kimber's Yonkers, New York plant. This style of construction makes the already expensive process of making a revolver considerably more expensive. On the K6S, all components other than the grip panels and sights are machined from stainless steel. The DASA Combat Revolver is a .357 Magnum revolver, just like all K6S revolvers. Such a gun no longer needs to be large in order to manage the pressures produced by that cartridge thanks to contemporary heat-treated steels. This type is pleasantly slim and light. The K6S's frame is about the same size as a Smith & Wesson K-frame revolver, making for a fairly portable package. The K6S appears absurdly little when compared to bigger end-frame weapons. The round butt frame minimizes another region that might typically add bulk to a revolver by being just long enough to permit a full-fingered grasp on the firearm. Finally, to reduce width, the sides of the cylinder are machined flat in between the chambers. The K6S weigh 29 ounces when empty. This would be a good option if you wanted to conceal a revolver with a 4-inch barrel. Features and working. Beginning with the barrel, to avoid the need to time the barrel to the frame, certain revolver manufacturers now use a 2-piece blank and sleeve design. Kimber chose a conventional 1-piece barrel with a distinctive ovate profile, demonstrating once again that the company's 6 guns aren't concerned with saving costs. When it comes to controlling muzzle rise, a full-length underlug adds a little weight where it can be most useful. The K6S's barrel-to-cylinder gap was 0.006 inches, which is tighter than typical. The 6-shot cylinder on the K6S is counterbored, which refers to a chambering technique that places a recess for loaded cartridge rims. Due to the additional machining operations required, this has evolved into an uncommon feature on double-action revolvers, since the 1980s. Another quick route has been avoided. Cylinders can be charged singly or with the help of Kimber's machined aluminum speed loaders. The term combat implies a revolver that will probably be discharged in double action. The trigger pull measured when firing the K6S in this mode was 8.75 pounds. This two-action pull was effortless. There was no stacking of the trigger, and the bolt locking into the cylinder notch is the sole sign that the shot is ready to go off. The single-action trigger, which breaks with a crisp 3.3 pounds, is similarly stunning. When Kimber designed the trigger mechanism for the DASA, it was clear that they did their research. Two safeties are used by the K6S DASA. Kimber kept the rebound safety present on the original K6S and added a transfer bar safety, creating a dual fail-safe system that stops the revolver from firing until the trigger is pushed. Kimber engineers were able to demonstrate this system's operation in person after removing the side plate from the K6S. The steel component known as the transfer bar, which connects the firing pin with the failing hammer, is only activated when the trigger is squeezed. The gun cannot fire if the transfer bar is not in the elevated position. There is nothing holding the hammer and firing pin together, even if the K6S is dropped and the hammer falls. This also holds true when the hammer is pointed forward.
To me, and I first got it, and I looked at it, I said, this is a good looking, about guns generally speaking, which is why I don't tend to like long slides, is that they tend to be a little bit bouncy. And this is no exception, is how cathartic it is all the damn time. but in this particular case, I got to give it to them because they look really, really good.
These safeguards are entirely passive. Unless you look for them, you won't find them. Anything that makes a gun safer and has no bad impact on the trigger pull is a win. The DASA Combat uses a more fixed configuration compared to the fully adjustable sights seen on the K6S target versions. The rear sight rides in a dovetail, while the front steel sight is pinned into the barrel. Once a vertical hex screw is removed, the back sight can be drift adjusted for windage. The K6S DASA Combat has a smooth trigger and a checkered hammer for a secure grip. The port side cylinder release is also checkered, and it can be accessed without adjusting how one holds the rifle. A standard type ejector rod is used to discharge the K6S after the cylinder has been unlocked. The front and back of the ejector rod, where the cylinder interfaces with a spring-loaded detent in the barrel, are where the cylinder locks. The grips are the only non-steel components on the K6S. The K6S DASA Combat stocks are crafted from 2 sheets of laminated wood and are both useful and beautiful. The front strap has 2 finger grooves that, along with the checkering's diamond pattern, aid the shooter in maintaining control of the weapon during recoil. The OEM grips may be practical and comfy for people with normal hands. Because factory grips made for the double-action only K6S are incompatible with the DASA, there are currently few other options. However, compatible aftermarket grips include those from Hogue. Purchasing a Kimber 6S DASA revolver. Overall, Kimber K6S DASA Combat Revolver has superb fit and finish. There are no sharp edges that could cut into skin or clothing because the entire K6S DASA Combat is totally dehorned for carrying. The stainless steel has an even, lovely brushed satin finish. The Kimber K6S DASA Combat Revolver is a simple, reliable, powerful, and well-built handgun that has been gaining popularity since the FBI's Miami shootout in 1986. Despite its impressive accuracy potential, the K6S DASA Combat is not as cheap as other revolvers like Smith & Wesson and Ruger. The suggested retail price for the K6S DASA Combat is $1,046, and street prices are around $100 below that number.
When I pull and shoot in a situation where it's just not going to snag and bang bang, and you're just going to pull that a good hit, you know. But I mean, you know, it's nice to have that capability, you know. Or put on a semi-auto pistol, you know, 3-dot sights. Okay. Check out our other videos on it. We talked about that cylinder shape and the thinness of the gun and all those things.
The K6S DASA Combat is a significant improvement over similar revolvers made by Smith & Wesson and Ruger, as they use fully machined parts in their models. This gun is not a product that was rushed to the market to meet the latest trend. The K6S series of revolvers is carefully engineered and refined, and the DASA is the latest evolution of that design and innovation effort. The range performance of the K6S DASA Combat is clear evidence of the engineer's work, and the company is eager to see what it comes up with next. If a simple, reliable, powerful and well-built handgun piques your interest, this one is worth a long look. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.